Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam. Good morning.
You mean you don't trust the police?
Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
That was one of our original first beats that was given to us by Lawrence Jones. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, August 17th, 2022, and it is We Need to Know Wednesdays. And one of the first things that's on my mind this morning is in just over, not 48, 60 hours, the Orange Line is going to shut down for 30 days. So we're going to talk about that, the impact of that a little bit. But let's go in the Java Cafe and see who's in this morning and say good morning. Mama Java, good morning. Good to see you in the room. New author, Jermaine Butts. Oh, God. Jermaine, put the title of your book there. It's actually sitting right there in the living room. I forgot the title. Mel, good morning. My friend from elementary school. Good to see you in the room. My brother, Deacon, I call him Reginald. Good morning, sir. Good to see you in the room. Good to see you in the room, sir. Give the wife my best. Sharon Cornelius. And look, everybody, look who's in the room this morning. Mr. Props McFly, and I got that video you sent me. Anyway, well, yeah, we text back about that. Sister Debbie, good morning. Good to see you in the room as well. Good to see you. So, MBTA in 60 hours is getting ready to shut down. And there's been a lot of jokes, a lot of memes, a lot of fear. The question I have also is, are they, oh God, here he goes. Are they, Props, you just threw me off. I was going to say, are they ready? But is the city now reconsidering what they did with those white traffic lane blockers? Because all around the route of where the MBTA or the Orange Line is going to shut down, it's going to cause more traffic. People are going to be late for work. I know, I think the city of Boston is looking at, putting some folks back on remote working and things like that. But it is going to be very, very interesting to see what goes on with them. There are stops on the Orange Line where there is no shuttle bus. So I'm getting ready to try to see if I can bring it up on Facebook, at least one of the pictures I saw, which was funny. I reposted it. But yeah, there. Here I'm on my Facebook getting ready to get distracted. Anyway, go to my Facebook page. It's on there. Please plan accordingly, though, what the MBTA is doing. And we know that Beverly was right. You don't want to be caught in a situation where you haven't looked at alternative transportation and also made plans for childcare, getting to work, making plans if you're going to be late and things like that. So also, Pastor Marion just put a prayer request. Please pray for the parents of the two brothers who drowned down in the Cape. The pastor and his wife are on the way from Jamaica and are scheduled to land tonight in the airport. The officials are still searching for the youngest son's body. So I did see a little bit of that there was a drowning of a young man on the Cape, I believe this weekend. And I was going to say Martha's Vineyard, but the Cape. So please keep that family in prayer as Pastor Marion has requested. Dina, good morning. Good to see you in the room. And Mel is letting us know. I got a couple of folks in here that are very much in tune of what's going on. They say 30 days now, and then I'll end up being extended. I don't trust the process. I'm just saying. Asia Beverly was right. So back to Mel's point. I mean, that is the belief that it's not going to be 30 days. It's going to be longer. Have you ever heard of a family member that's maybe a senior and unfortunately they went in for surgery for one thing and they found out there was something else? And so anytime you're doing something like that, and homie's in the room, Keys, what's up, homie? Good to see you in the room. And I know she has an opinion about the MBTA. They're going to get in there and start fishing around and doing stuff, and they're going to find that it's going to be more issues. And I'm sort of in the vein that, like, I'm not going to be here Friday for that, because I was thinking about going on a 9 o'clock train and just go live and ride the last train. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. But there's a feeling that, like, it's being shut down. Remember in 87 when they got rid of the elevated Orange Line and we went over to Columbus Ave and whatnot? I that's the feeling that I have. And I mean, I know they're not shutting the Orange Line down forever, but it's not going to be 30 days. Let's just keep that 100. Tashad, good morning. Good to see you in the room. You all save August 24th, next Wednesday evening, I think at 6 o'clock. Tashad and Tashad, do you host it, or is it going to be Kinnear? I'll be featured on Boston Wild Blacks member feature thingy, something like that. But Tashad, good to see you in the room. Domingo, good to see you in the room, brother. Speaking of what we need to know, y'all keep your ears open to what's going on. As I said the other day, follow Mingo to keep up with what's going on with Mass and Cass. But getting back and trying to close out the MBTA thing, make plans, stay up to date. If you take the T and you're relying on that, make sure you're signed up for alerts and different things like that to ensure that you know everything that's going on, because this is going to be, my mother's on, a poo-poo show. It just really is. And I don't like the fact that they are trying, by my observation, some of the things they're trying to do, because Boston is the capital, the most major city. It seemed like they were trying to strong arm the mayor, like, yo, you need to work with us to make this work. Y'all going to give her some more money? Because Boston foots a big, large portion of the a big, large part or portion of the MBTA's bill. So remember, COVID was 2 weeks, no school. So Nika, she's on here under a different name, but Nika, as I know her as, is talking about that Nika, damn, that's not a real good example. It's a valid, real one, but it just really made it real. Remember when we said that the young people were going to be out of school for 2 weeks and almost the whole year? So, and remote learning and all that. Tay, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Thank you for your questions. Key, stop fronting. I know you got an opinion about all of this. All right, let me catch up. Nika's also saying, ended up a whole 2 years. Shake my head. They can't determine these processes. And that's the thing. I'm so afraid that they're going to get in and see what's going on, and then it's going to turn into 6 weeks. And then we're going to get into the winter. And then was anybody thinking that it needed to be done? Yes. But the vernacular, it been needed to be done. And so you're doing this when school gets ready to start. And they're still reporting that there are school bus driver shortages across the country. And we know the debacle that was last year. So let me back up a little bit. This is why when I post stuff about civic engagement and go to this meeting and make this call and all this other stuff, I'll be honest, though, haven't done a lot lately because anyway, this is why we need to participate. For example, I'll share the flyer, but they're getting ready to do something in Codman Square with the little park area up there. We need to give input on that. So, it's yes, we have to name the issues and we have to name the injustices and things like that. But when we can proactively be in front of it and participate, do so. Plain as that. Uh-oh. Let me see what Prop said. The next thing you know, Ruggles is Props, you haven't seen that what we used to know as Ruggles Street projects is no longer Ruggles Street projects. A lot of the housing authorities, they're doing them with mixed market rent income. And I get it, but Props, you onto something there. And colleges need to stop paying y'all get me started this morning. Colleges need to start paying taxes in Boston. Plain and simple. All right. I think I am caught up. Pastor Marion is saying this city is a mess, and you're right. They are going to find a lot more wrong than they're saying. And in this case, it is a state issue. The MBTA is a state entity, but they've known about this. As I've said before, and Beverly said it, and that's why she's not here no more, because Beverly was like, your system is dilapidated. It's the first system in the nation. All that pride is wonderful, but it's the oldest system in the nation that has lacked proper maintenance and upkeep. So simple as that. All right. Okay. So I got a lot of catching up to do. Hold on. Let me get to where I was. All right. Domingo, bruh, traffic is going to be ridiculous. It is going to be crazy. Keys is saying on the MBTA website, they recommend people walk from. So let me see if I can get this thing up. Hold on. James W. Hills. I'm trying to get to my own page. What the heck? All right. Facebook is not doing what it's supposed to do. There we go. All right. James W. Hills. Let me see if I can bring up the flyer I shared yesterday. I did see that on the website, Keys. All right. So this is the picture that I wanted. This is the picture I wanted to share with you all. Hold on. Share screen. Where did it go? Oh, Chrome tab. Facebook. There we go. This is a couple of years ago. Somebody put up a post on the different lines. I think the orange line was like laugh out loud. The red line was like nope, and green line was like wait. This is a more up to date, accurate assessment of what the MBTA is currently looking like. So it's going to be interesting. The other thing Keys was saying is the MBTA did put on their website this sort of legend where there isn't going to be shuttle service, and they call it walk diversion. They want you to walk. Man, listen. Mel is saying, I actually feel for the bicyclists with all those shuttle buses that will be driven out of state contractors that don't know our roads. So let's talk about the 37 million, 70 million, $37 million that Yankee got. Don't quote me on that amount, but Yankee Bus Company, a coach bus company. Now, I appreciate the coach bus company, coach bus for shuttle. It's kind of forcing it, but they don't have enough MBTA drivers to do the shuttle buses. And unfortunately, I also heard that there are some people that are being laid off because, you know, the impact of what's going on there. So it just all around, it is a huge issue. Isaiah is saying that should have been done years ago. I agree. It should have been done again. You all couldn't see it on Facebook, but and for anybody that's going to try to steal this, please let it be known today that I'm the one that created this. I think it was in 2015, maybe 18. I think it was 15. But please let it be known that this here was created right here. Well, we didn't have the Java Cafe then, but that's all Beverly did years ago. All I did was tell the truth and tell y'all your system is old and broken. Good luck this winter. That was 7 years ago. So we got 7 years of compiled of everything that's went on during COVID, the crazy winters and what. Anyway, let me move on to something else. Like the Spanish livery service from Props, don't you start. Sharon Cornelius is saying that Beverly knew what was going on with our. I just put the picture up. So Props, there is some conversation about privately owned. I don't know if you're referring to the MBTA. It may not be private soon, but the feds are sure ready to come in and take over. The Department of Transportation is like, yo, and I believe this is one of the reasons why they're expediting fixing it, because there was a diagram, infographic that they put up the other day that it would take 520 days to do the work that they're doing supposedly over these 30 days. We'll see what happens. I really don't believe it's going to be 30 days, but yeah. Props is also saying create a new bus service. I don't know if you mean of the MBTA doing that, or it would be awesome if the MBTA would have sought out local small business, Black women, MBE type bus companies to help with the shuttle service. But now I'm going to say something some people may not agree with. They probably went with a well-known, reliable, big company because they already got enough going on. And so sometimes with mom and pop shops and whatnot, you know, they get a big contract and then may not have the capacity to handle it. So that, you know, I won't give as much opinion about that. Domingos is letting us know, extend the orange line into Dedham, folks in Rosendale, High Park, West Roxbury with the benefit, including Dedham, Westwood, and North. Mingo, they can't make it past Forest Hills, let alone extend it. And it probably wouldn't be within our lifetime, which is crazy. Props, instead of complaining, this is where ownership kicks in. Where are the brothers and sisters that like to drive? Facts. Mel is saying, okay, so I think I've caught up with all the comments. Tasha, good morning. Good to see you in the room. I think I am all set. So Mingos brings up a good point. And I shared a flyer yesterday because the Codman Square Park that they're getting ready to fix, the meeting is like 12 noon to 2 p.m. Most people are at work. And even if it's a virtual option, they can't just sit at work and hop on a Zoom. So, you know, notification of these meetings and things like that, we need to do better at that. I, at one point, was trying to hold space and get that information out here on the platform. We'll figure out maybe how to do that in a more proactive manner. But if you do have stuff, I've always said, email it. Do not inbox me. Do not text me. Email it to info@javawithjimmy.com. That way I keep all that stuff there together. This is going to be flip the script on the gentrification. That might not. So let me turn this down and introduce to you a philosophy that I have around gentrification and when it comes to the public transportation system. So, you know, a few years ago, some years ago, everybody was talking about moving out to the suburbs. They wanted to leave Boston. And then we started having folks not from Boston, people not of color, moving back into Boston. Can I really be honest with you and tell you what that is about? Time and transportation. It really is about time and transportation. It's a lot of people work in the Boston area that may live in Weymouth and Waltham, what Darren used to call the W towns in Massachusetts. And so a lot of people are trying to come back into Boston, and gentrification is at some of its highest rates across the country, but here in Boston as well, because people just want the convenience of getting to work in 45 minutes and not having to drive an hour and a half. And with the way traffic is, so just when Pastor Marion mentioned that, that's something I've been thinking about for a couple of years, that it's really about people wanting to come back into the city to be able to get back to work. You know, we have the seaport downtown. And so we have to pay attention to what's going on with development. I don't know how. What else we need to know Wednesday? I guess that's why I'm there. Dina said it would still be a problem, but less of a problem and less congestion if done over the summer. Yeah. I can agree with that. Friday, Black Joy after work kickoff event at the ICA, September 9th, 6 to 9 p.m. More details in a few days. We need some Black Joy. I already told Uncle Thaddeus, y'all messing around with these events on my birthday, which is September 8th, just to let you guys know. And so don't forget that. And we're going back to the ICA. And so also September 16th, it won't be at the ICA, but we're doing another event. So I'll keep you guys abreast of that. All right. Something else I wanted to mention. Shout out to the NBA, who is not holding games on election day in November. They're not going to hold games. What they're doing and leading up to, they're going to have civic engagement type events and get folks out into the community to get folks out to vote. Speaking of voting, there was an election in Wyoming last night, and Liz Cheney, as you all know, who was a Republican, a very conservative Republican, voted to impeach Trump. And ever since she did that, Trump has been on a war path against her and would endorse Hagan, Hagan, a Trump-backed candidate who spanked Liz Cheney's tail so bad. But do not sleep. We have not heard the last from Liz Cheney. I believe that she is going to be a key a leader, and she actually has a PAC and a leadership committee that she started calling the Great Task, where she's going to ensure that messages get out about not supporting Trump-backed candidates. So just when we were talking about voting in the NBA, I thought about that. I also heard on CNN this morning that, you know, the NBA is supporting the White House and the president and trying to get oh God, what is the, I was going to say the wrong Brianna, the young lady over in Russia. Somebody please type her name for me. I can't remember her name, but they are working on that as well, and so that is still on the radar. So it's crazy. Props, as long as we can keep our guns. You know what? I'm not messing with you. She is going to help bring Trump to his knees. Let me tell y'all something about Liz Cheney. I like her. I don't agree with her conservative views, but I do like her. I just heard that Auntie Java is in the room. Good morning. Good to see you in the room. I like Liz Cheney. She got a little fire to her when it comes to Trump. Her conservative policies, I'm kind of all set, but it's just unbelievable that where the Republican Party is going. And we have to remember, we used to be part. This was Abraham Lincoln's party, and the Democrats need to figure out what they're going to do, because most of us are with them now, but they're still not doing what they need to do. So anyway, Shalon Winston, definitely, Nika, definitely better over the summer. Can you imagine how many school children will be marked tardy and present? So, I mean, up until September 18th, getting back to the bus MBTA thing, up until September 18th, folks are still going to be late. School starts what? Like the 5th or 6th? They got that week. They got almost 2 weeks. And we know that they're not going to start again on September 18th. It's unfortunate. And not that we're pessimists, but even the Bible says, in all thy getting, get an understanding. And I may be taking it out of context, but come on. We got history with the MBTA. It's not going to be just 30 days. So yeah, anyway. Props. Everybody is glad to see you in the room, brother. See, you're loved in here. I'll tell you, school starts on September. Y'all in this, I just got traumatized because when I was younger, I would hate when the first day of school was on my birthday. And it actually once in a while, because that's a little bit late, but September 8th is also another thing. So wait a minute. Nika says school starts on the 1st. So Ma, you don't have kids in school no more. So I'm inclined to go with Nika a little bit, but Britt, thank you, Ma. Rachel, see Keys. That's why I call her Keys. Brittany Griner, MBTA is in the background trying to work with the White House and the president to get her back home. All right, folks, I'm going to get ready to wrap up. School starts on the 6th in Brookline, and Ma said no, September 8th. So it depends on what school you go to, and if you're in private school or charter school. And Domingo, some have already started. My little cousin is in school already. I think they started like either late last week or early. Actually, it was earlier this week. Thank you all. It's different dates. I know. Nika said Nika said I'm in the school system. All right. So most of them are starting on the 8th. All right. I didn't mean to cause a great debate when school starts. Public and charter schools may start on different days, or even MECO schools. Absolutely. Isaiah, thank you so much for being in the room with us, brother. Welcome. Dalita, what are your thoughts on the MBTA Orange Line shutdown and the impact on Black and brown people? I'm so curious to your thoughts. And if my phone was hooked up right now, I would tell you to call in. All right. I think I am up to date with all the comments. So we're going to get ready to wrap up. A couple of things to please keep in mind. September, I believe it's 16th, we'll be doing some iteration of Java with Jimmy, the Java Cafe, in collaboration with the Urgency of Now and also the Waterfront Wellness Summit, the Waterfront Wellness Summit that's going on that week. Next Wednesday, the 24th, Mayor Wu will be with us at 9 a.m. And also on the 24th, later that evening, I will be with Boston While Black for their IG Live series. And that will be on Instagram. So the only way you'll be able to watch it will be on Instagram. And so once that flyer is out, I'll make sure I post it, but you'll have to watch it on Instagram. And I think that's it for today. We're pretty good. Tomorrow morning. Wait. Thank you, Mingo. And I actually have the ask in to get him on the show. Shout out to the new police commissioner, Michael Cox, that was sworn in, I believe, yesterday or the day before. And I wasn't able to make it down, but shout out to him. We should be able to get him in the Java Cafe and talk with him soon about his approach. A lot of systemic change is going to go on in the Boston Police Department, which is much needed. Talk about the MBTA and behind times. They beat that man, and now he's the police commissioner. We'll leave that there. All right, so Dalita is about to tell us her thoughts. Don't get me started, as I've been on the train when it caught on fire, derailed, and so much more. I have thoughts, and I know I'm a Worcester resident now, and some will tell me to mind my business. You advocate for people in this area, and I know your history. So if somebody you tell them, come see me, Dalita. Anyway, but no, it doesn't take away from the fact. No, we are not repping cops now, props, but a black man. I mean, y'all want to get me started this morning. We had a black man that was the police commissioner before. I know I just took a sip, but that statement justifies a sip. And so this young man comes with a different experience, and also comes with a lot of community experience. And because of his experience, I believe it's going to cause a lot of change. Props, I'm not messing with you. You can't question. There's no reason to question the integrity, because I'm going to keep it real. I mean, there's a lot of hope. And I'll be honest, there is another. So while a lot of people from Boston in the community have a lot of hope and believe that this brother is going to do well, there's also another side that's just plain and simple. He's a cop, period. They won't even, because he's law enforcement. And for some, I get that. That's not my portion or my experience, but you know, I've said this before, even way before Java with Jimmy. We, as black and brown people, we're not going anywhere. We're in the city where it had the first police department that was put together to go out and round up slaves that escaped. Let's just keep that in mind. In 100 evolved. They're not going anywhere. We're certainly not going anywhere. They're not either. So it behooves us to figure out a way to live together, because right now, if there was an accident, if somebody broke into your home and held you at gunpoint and they left and they robbed you, what is the first thing you're doing? Hi, I would like to report a robbery. And so it doesn't nullify the things that they need to improve upon, and the black and brown people and trans people that they have killed and mistreated. However, see, Pops, why are you messing with me? I ain't messing with you. Domingo, BTB. I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing on here. You making me cuss. All right. I know you are. Let me tell you something, Mr. Props. Ain't no way in the world. If he doesn't get the support he needs to implement the change, it won't happen, just like what happened to him in his last position. And that's the thing. And so, all right, after this, I'm really wrapping up and getting off of here because I got some things to do. One of the things that's always been an issue with BPD, there's usually been a choice internally between two people. Some years ago, it was between Paul Joyce and Mumford. Mumford. Paul Joyce was progressive, had a lot of favor within black and brown communities. Mumford was not Mumford. Was it Mumford? Dunford. And the mayor couldn't appoint either one of them because it would split the police department. To speed things up a little bit, Greg Long, who I told y'all before, who I know, who would hit me up one day because he thought he had a warrant to our apartment, and I told him no, we didn't. And ever since then, whatever. He probably wanted the position, but knew he wasn't going to get it. And all you know, whatever to him, he held it down during this interim period. When Dina talks about the support, Commissioner Cox not only needs a support from the community when we have these meetings and things like that, or he asks for people to come in and talk and testify, but internally, he has to get his people. And this is 2 or 3 months ago. I passed word to the administration that what Greg Long and the command staff and them were doing were they were putting people in place before there was a new police commissioner. And some of these positions, I don't know what autonomy he has to go in and shake things up at the command staff. I'm not really sure and clear on that. Maybe that's one of the questions we'll ask when we get him on. What liberty does he have to bring in his own people, elevate his people, so he has trusted people around him? Because like Michelle Wu, like they may do to him, sabotage. Let's keep that 100. And there'll be some people that will try to sabotage his success, just like some people internally at City Hall. Anyway, Dina, you get me started. All right. Oh, Mingo, listen, they're going to retire out of protest because they don't want to submit to this black man. Not just the black man, but the change he's coming with. So, Mingo, I don't know if that's a good example. I'm gonna leave that right there. All right, folks, I'm going to get ready to get off of here. Wait a minute, Thaddeus, what did you said stop? What part? What did I mess up? Oh, Thaddeus is probably telling Props to stop. But no, I've heard great things. And I mean, Thaddeus was in law enforcement. Do you know this brother? Conchetta's comment. Hold on. Oh, Auntie Java. So between the city and you make sure that we get him here. No, sir. So listen, that gives a little bit more credibility. But Thaddeus, let me know if you know him as well. But I really, from what I've heard about him, and I looked at the pictures yesterday, and I'm like, I've seen him before. I'm hoping that he can come in and get the police department to a point where they really are demonstrating and implementing DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusive policies that not only translate into a better environment for the police officers. Y'all remember the name Brenda James. We've been texting back and forth and trying to get her to come back on. But a better work environment, a healthy work environment for police officers, but then also that translates into better community policing. And that is a thing. So, all right. Oh God. Yep. So, I think Thaddeus was telling me Props to stop, not me. So I didn't get in trouble this time. But no, I've heard a lot, and thanks Thaddeus for letting us know your relationship. Police yourselves. Now, there's a whole this right here, beyond what we're talking about with the police commissioner, from abortion to domestic urban violence, to saving credit, not just around all this other stuff. Putting cops on the beat to walk. And that's what what's his face did. Ed Davis. One of his greatest or the things he's known, one of the things that he's known for when he was commissioner in Boston was getting folks out of the police car. You don't see that as much anymore. So, all right, folks, I'm a little bit past time. I'm going to get ready to wrap up. I don't know what tomorrow is going to look like. I will put a post up in the morning and let you know. I will try to be on. Thanks, and brother in the room talking about community policing. Community policing started in 91. I don't know, Mingo, because that really, well, maybe it did, but I was fresh out of high school in 91, so it wasn't probably paying too much attention. But I know that was big on Menino's radar and Davis as well. But Props, good to see you in the room. Who's having a Black Panther party? Oh, this is a shame because when Props, I'm thinking the movie. You're talking about Black Panther party. So, man, Props brings up a lot. And Props today, because I got to prepare. I can't post this and go in too deep into it today, but he brings up a lot. He brings up a lot when he talks about that. So, all right, Mingo. Thank you, brother, for sharing that. All right, folks. Auntie said Officer Friendly was lost. I was part of the community partner with patrolling the streets in my hood. All right. So, I mean, and also the faith-based community was a part of that as well. So there are some models in place that can improve community policing. The thing is, keep this brother in prayer. And when he asks us to come and chat with him, and does focus groups, I'm sure he'll do a tour and things like that. Go out and participate and talk with him and let him know what your issues are and what your suggestions are. All right. Camille, what's up, Miha? Good to see you in the room. Absolutely. Absolutely. Maybe one of these days we need to get you on and have some conversation. I'm going to wrap up, folks. Again, I'm not sure how tomorrow is going to look, depending on what goes on early in the morning. I have some things to do. Are they still around? Hold on. Oh, y'all are going. See, I'm about to get in trouble. Domingos open up old cases of police brutality. Props, depending on these organizations, means we have to be submissive to all of their rules. Not necessarily. They need to do these coffee with the cop during. Type it again for the people in the back. No, I'm missing. That's what I was saying about the community meeting about Codman Square. I mean, I don't think this is complaining. These are real good suggestions, specifically around this thing around time. People can't participate 9 to 5. Most people. And if you're really talking about community engagement and that population that you really want to engage in the community, most are 9 to 5 workers, or 3 to 11, or 11 to 7. And so there needs to be a way to figure out how to get more input. You know, we've adopted the virtual things. There are surveys that you can do. But on the other side of that, if folks put all that effort into making sure that we can be engaged, we got to engage. You know what, Mr. Props? I mean, I'm not messing with you. And I'm getting real comfortable because I just sat up here and sniffed and rubbed my nose like I'm not on camera. But listen, like I said a few minutes ago, and I'll end with this. We're not going nowhere as a people. The cops aren't going nowhere either. And again, we're not going nowhere and they aren't either. So it behooves us to figure out a way to stay safe, alive, be treated fairly, and also take advantage of the services that they offer that our taxes help pay for. Emergencies, traffic, things like that. So, Nika, I love you. And I needed to read that today. So thank you. Props, you can't say. But this was my point earlier, Props. And I promise, I think I'm going to end with this one, depending on how y'all respond. We got a lot of hypocrites out here because defund the police, F the police and all of that. And I will tell you, if you got jacked, 85% of cats screaming at, if they got jacked, they got robbed or whatever, they're calling the police. What else you going to do? So Props makes a very, very point there. Mingo, I was just thinking about this and that overtime budget, and she'll be here next week and maybe I can ask her about it. I don't want to misquote, but when they were going through budget proceedings, Michelle was not overly favorable for decreasing the overtime budget. I remember seeing something on Twitter. I believe it was Sarah Windworth from GBH that was writing something about that. And so that's something we need to look at. Do you know what $50 million could do if it wasn't on overtime? Whole lot. All right. She increased. Oh, see, this is why I always preface it with I don't have the exact number. All right. This is really it for real. This is really it. 9:43, one of the longest we did in a while. I'll let you guys know about tomorrow morning later on. Well, look for a post tomorrow morning. If you don't see me, you'll see a post. I also want to say congratulations to some folks that are getting ordained this weekend. Tyrone Chase, Wilma Mathis, and I thought there was somebody else. Actually, it's just the two of them, Tyrone Chase and Wilma Mathis. So congratulations to them for getting ordained this weekend. And Mingo, I'm not staying on until 10 a.m. because I'm already a little bit over time now. Congratulations to both of you. We all started out in ministry together. And they stayed in that vein of it and still going on and doing great things for God. So congratulations to both of them. And yes. Oh, look at y'all. Look at y'all. And don't forget to please keep that family in prayer that Pastor Marion asked about. Please keep Lasagna in prayer. Please keep, I just need y'all to mention one name, Brother Willie. Not the one that you all know from New Life back in the day. There's another Willie who has, in a sense, adopted me in the family. And so keep him in prayer as well. Brother Willie. That's all I need y'all to do. Speedy recovery, better than he was before. And that's it. All right. So that's it for me. Jermaine, you know, my mouth is a little bit different now. And what I'll just say, and what happened with that? I'm messing. Thank you all so much. Keep Brother Willie in prayer. And all right, for real, I'm getting off of here right now. Props, tell me later what you pausing. I know, Mingo, I know, but I do have to go get some stuff together, and it's on. Oh. Wait, see, y'all gonna hit me. So Thaddeus said an overtime budget is fake anyway. Curious to what you mean. Because you really, I'll be honest, I was thinking this a few minutes ago. You can't really predict what the overtime budget is going to be. But maybe in Boston, because it's typically so bad that they have to proactively figure it in so they're not under budget during that fiscal year. That's a whole nother Zoom in itself, Jesus. Sauce Boss. Can we link later? I know see, I did think the last time you posted, did I email you? Or did I? All right, we'll touch bases here. I ain't gonna get in trouble on here with you. All right, folks, for real. I'm getting off here. Not going until 10, Mingo. There's no cap on overtime, bitch. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Please remember now, folks, start making plans to vote, babysit, and even within it's so interesting because during the primary, the MBTA is going to be shut down. And I just thought about this. If people are running late and they've been facing the turmoil of this orange line, I keep saying MBTA, but the orange line shut down. I just really thought about the fact, the likeliness of them making a decision to go to vote is going to be interesting for some. Y'all got my brain going. Props tapped into something. We might need to figure out. I said might. I'm not making no announcement, not commit myself to nothing or anything rather. We might, or the community or some folks, Mass Vote, NAACP, all these folks that do this work, they might need to come together and set up a more intimate, and I mean, some folks do that anyway, ride to the polls and stuff like that. But this year with the MBTA being, the orange line being shut down, we really might want to be more proactive in setting up meeting spots and getting folks to the polls. I just thought about that. So, Props, I ain't messing with you. If I understand what you mean by that. Asia, don't believe your vote and your voice don't matter. They wouldn't work so hard if it didn't. Vote and know whom you're voting for and hold them accountable. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, folks. I done said that about 10 times this morning. I'm getting off of here. Have a great day and check for tomorrow to see what will be going on. Either we'll be live or there'll be a post up about why we're not live. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.